It's time for another massive haul video. This is going to be April's haul. Of course, every month we do this where I share brand new fragrances with you. I don't just talk about what's to come. I actually unbox and do a first impression for you on what's hot and what's not. So if you guys want to know about these 15 fragrances I've got here, I've got 10 designers and 5 niche. Let's check them out. Welcome back to another video. Max Forte here with another haul video. This is April's haul. As I said in the beginning, we've got 15 fragrances to go over, 10 designers and 5 niche. Let's get cracking. Let's get smelling. I'm going to try and make this a little quick so we're not here for like an hour. So let's get it. Pour un homme de Cajon. This is the Parfum edition. There is the original, which was released, I think, back in 1934, if I'm not mistaken, which is still popular these days. People do like that vanilla and lavender combination, which almost has this metallic kind of undertone. It's quite popular. It was popular for decades, and this is the newest 2022 edition. Love the bottle, green with kind of graphite appointments. Well, let's see what this one is about. Sprays are great. And this is going to be very similar to the original Pour un homme de Cajon, which is again that vanilla and lavender combination with the metallic undertones. This perhaps a little bit sweeter than the original Pour un homme de Cajon, but right in the same vein. There's not much changes here, to be quite honest with you. Perhaps, like I said, they try to modernize the scent a little bit with the addition of the sweeter nuances in the fragrance. Looking at the notes, it's pretty much a lavender and vanilla bomb with musk, a poponax, styrax, the resins, and rose. I do get a sweeter, fruitier kind of opening here, but all in all, I think it's quite the same. I don't know about, of course, projection, longevity, but it looks like from the smell here in the first impression, it's going to be actually quite long lasting. Quick rating here. We're going to keep things simple. I'm going to, very simple here, give you a meh if it's a pass, good or great. So this is going to get a good. It's a good release, but definitely not great. Next up, we're going to check out the new Legend here from the House of Mont Blanc. This is Legend Blue, another flanker to the ever-growing flankers out there. And this is going to be, from the looks of the bottle here, where the box itself is blue with white and silver appointments, and the bottle, again, blue with silver appointments. I love the bottle. These are really cool. Looking at the bottle here, it's probably going to be an aquatic, ozonic, blue type scent. The name says it all. I think it's a given here. So Mont Blanc Legend Blue is a 2024 release. So this was, it dropped a few months ago. So this, yes, it is a blue scent. It has some modern inflections, as most companies are doing now with blue scents. It has the lavender, the clary sage, the green herbal feel to the fragrance. It smells good, but it's nothing that you haven't smelled before, or it's nothing that is not available at your Macy's or your general store counter. It's one of those, been there, done that. Looking at the notes, there's mint, lavender, sandalwood, cedar, oak moss, and ambroxan. So you'd have to try most of the blue aquatic scents out there in the market today to figure out which one you prefer. But I do enjoy the opening. The mint here is not as prevalent as I would like it to be. I wish the mint was a little fresher, a little bit more invigorating. It is rather a boring scent. This to me is a meh. This is a pass. I would not buy this retail again, or I would not rebuy this, let's put it that way. But, it's ambroxan. I don't get much of the moss here. Maybe it'll come through later on, but in the first impressions here, this is a pass for me. It's one of those boring blue aquatic type scents with the green, mint, and herbal, lavender, and clary sage inflections. There's a lot of fragrances out there with this kind of a genre and profile. You just have to pick your favorite one. This is definitely not one of mine. We go from Mont Blanc to Moschino. This is another one that escaped me. This was released, I believe, last year, 2023. This is Moschino's Toy 2 Pearl. There are many toys at this point. This is the Toy 2 Pearl. Again, kind of gimmicky with the bottles, sort of like what you get with the robot with Paco Rabanne. Moschino went with the little teddy bear. Very shiny bottle. And again, this is Toy 2 Pearl. I don't know anything about it. Let's see what we get out of this one. The original toy got quite a bit of a limelight here in the world of fragrances on YouTube, on TikTok, because it was a great masculine or gender-free rose type scent. Let's see what we get out of this one. So this is a very citrus aromatic type scent. You get a ton of citruses up top, very bright, very invigorating, very inspiring type scent. I don't think the performance will be great on this one from a water here. It seems like it's going to be one of those fleeting type scents, very ethereal. But I do enjoy the opening here. I think this is perfection for the springtime, the season we have going on right now into summer. And looking at the notes, we've got lemon, we've got a sorbet accord, oregano note. Okay, I can see that, but the oregano note that you get here is not the oregano note that you're thinking of. It's not going to be like an overbearing oregano. It's very lightly and, mostly in the background. Sand note, freesia, jasmine, musk, vetiver, and cypress. Okay, I do get some inflections of green nuances here, but it's mostly a very citrus, aromatic, and floral type scent, which I think, again, perfection for the springtime. Definitely unisex. Anybody can rock this, a gal, a guy, anybody. But I think it's going to be one of those closer to the skin that you could wear mostly for like casual wear, easygoing type scenarios. Good one. Putting the performance aside, I think the scent itself is actually pretty good. That's a good one. I give it a thumbs up for a review. Definitely worth checking out. Let's do one for the ladies. There's a new Born in Roma Green Extravaganza. I talked about the men's one. I did a full review on that one. If you guys missed that review, go check it out. This is the Valentino Donna. This is the Green Extravaganza Born in Roma Donna. Valentino Donna. This is the ladies version. The bottle looks really good. I love this flask. I love the ridges on it. It just looks pretty good. Stunning with the leather label here at the front of the bottle. I do enjoy the Valentino bottles. I've always did. I think they do a tremendous job. Very innovative. So let's see what this one is all about. This is for the ladies out there. Maybe a guy can wear. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, this is quite nice. This is going to be a sweet floral amber type scent. I would wear this, although the floral notes are not notes that I do gravitate towards. So this has like a bitter kind of effect to it because of the white florals that it has. I'm thinking jasmine. Definitely a fruity opening here that's quite, it's gonna just have you at hello. As soon as you smell this, you're gonna like it. There is the ambery sweetness coming through. Let's look at the notes here. Looking at the notes, and this, by the way, was a 2024 release, so it's dropped earlier this year. Looking at the notes, we have lapsang, shushang tea, jasmine, and vanilla. So the bitterness is definitely coming from the tea with the jasmine that I talked about before. So definitely white floral with the tea note. Very natural tea smelling. Now that I see the note, I can definitely make the connection. And the vanilla inflection is adding some sweetness and some warmth to the fragrance, but it's not overbearing. It's not overly sweet at all. I would actually wear this fragrance. There is a fragrance from Nishan that it's called Oolong Tea or Oolong Cha. I love that fragrance, and this one here is in the same wheelhouse. However, this is going to be a little more on the sweeter side of things, as Oolong Cha is more of a citrus type scent. But this is actually good. It gets another thumbs up for me. Definitely worth checking out. And like I said, I would wear it myself. Here's another 2024 release that I doubt a lot of you will hear about it or even see any talks about it, because most people only focuses on the men line of this particular brand. This is from Bulgari, and this is the Pour Homme line, the newest 2024 edition of the Bulgari Pour Homme, the Eau de Parfum edition. Very curious about this one. I do love the Extreme, which still to this day is one that I wear regularly and makes a lot of my top lists. Beautiful greenish kind of a box. The bottle does have a green tinge to it. It says Bulgari Pour Homme Eau de Parfum, minimalist yet very chic. Let's see what this one is all about. I'm thinking it's going to be a woody aromatic type scent. Let's see. Great sprayers. Okay, so I'm getting very nice, very tamed. This is what I call sublime, subtle, comfortable sophistication. Very subtle, very easy to wear. People smell this. It smells like old money. It smells like pure elegance and sophistication. Loving this stuff. I'm getting maybe like black pepper up top, a nice spicy, peppery woodiness to it. Vetiver, some fruitiness, definitely some bergamots here, some Amalfi lemons type of deal, Calabrian bergamots. Let's look at the notes. So we've got ginger, we've got Darjeeling tea, another tea note here, Ceylon tea, guaiac wood, umbrette, and musk. So another tea-based scent. Loving this one. I know vetiver is not listed as a note, but I'm definitely getting a nice vetiver, earthy inflection here, and the combination of teas here are just amazing. The ginger up top here with a little bit of a spiciness, but not much, just enough to make things interesting. This is a gorgeous fragrance, guys, and one that I will be wearing a lot in the upcoming months. I think this is perfection for spring and summer, and I think this will make my top summer of this year designers, because it is that good. This one is going to get a great release. This is an amazing one so far, the best one of the haul yet. Amazing stuff. So the Azaro Wanted line has a new one from the Most Wanted collection, which is a flanker of a flanker. This is the Most Wanted Eau de Toilette Intense. I know it gets confusing, guys. I get confused myself. Sometimes I'm thinking, hey, do I have this one? Have I tried that one? it gets crazy. So this is the newest 2024 edition, which is going to be an Eau de Toilette release, and it's Eau de Toilette Intense. I mean, you've seen these boxes, you've seen them all. This is dark with gold appointments, looks nice, but nothing out of this world. You've got the black bottle that goes from dark to lighter. You can see the juice at the bottom. This is the newest Eau de Toilette Intense. Let's see what we get out of this one. The sprays are okay. Actually, sprays are bad on this one, guys. Bad job at 𝗲𝐺. Got to work on your sprayers. The smell is good though, I have to say. This is a good one. This is a really, really good one for this time of the year, you know, for the time we're in right now, spring, summer, even early fall. I think you can get away with this one. Winter, perhaps not so much. I don't think it's going to have the power for the winter season, especially for the winters that I get here where I'm at near New York City. Looking at the note breakdown, we're talking bergamot, lavender, liquor, and moss. It doesn't specify what the liquor is, so I couldn't tell. I'm getting like a rum kind of a vibe here. Moss, so there's definitely a green component to this fragrance. There's a lot more to the fragrance, to be honest with you. The bergamot with the lavender combination here with the opening are just amazing. I think you're going to enjoy this. If you smell this, I don't really love the darker, syrupy, sweet kind of fragrances from this line. The original most wanted, I think I enjoyed. The intense version was quite good as well. But then as they kept going with the flankers, it was just pretty much regurgitation of more of the same. This one here goes into a different direction, a more wearable, daily kind of a driver, signature scent type of a deal here. So I am enjoying this one. I think from a first impressions here, I'm going to give this one a good. This is a good try. Despite that the sprayer is actually quite bad here on this fragrance, the smell itself is most definitely worth checking out. Next up, we're going to talk about the newest from Givenchy. This is going to be Gentleman's Society Eau de Parfum Extrême. There was a Gentleman's Society that dropped last year, and I did a first impression for you guys here on the channel. This is the newest one, very similar to the other bottle, silver with the black appointments. The only difference is Eau de Parfum Extrême concentration, whatever that means. Note-wise, I don't know. I have to look at it side by side. The bottle looks really cool. I love the emblem here, the insignia of the Givenchy in the bottle itself. Dark, completely dark bottle. You can't see the juice with the heavy glass. Looks really good. Heavy cap. I mean, great job. Givenchy is actually one of the best designer brands out there today to check out. I always tell people to look into the Givenchy counter. They always have something good, something inspiring, and just not more of the same. Let's see what this one's all about. Okay, definitely an iris-based scent. As soon as you spray this fragrance, you're going to get the iris feel, which I feel like Givenchy now is really driving home that iris note. Dior was doing it for a while back in a few years ago, and I think they dropped the ball on the iris, and I think Givenchy picked up that ball and ran with it. I think over the last few releases, from the Reserve Privé on, or even before then, I think even with the lighter scents, Givenchy was always doing a great job adding that note of iris and embellishing with other notes. This is a really, really good one. Another really good, I wouldn't say great, but I'd say a really good release. Definitely worth checking out. Let me look at the notes. Thinking back on Givenchy's Gentleman Society from last year, that fragrance was definitely more floral. I believe it had a note of narcissus in the heart, which made it a little bit more floral with the vetiver in the base. Also had Palo Santo in the note, which I loved. This one here definitely brings forth the iris a lot more. It's talking about peppermint up top, which I'm not really getting a minty feel here at all, but it is a very nice combination of notes. You've got nutmeg, spices, you have clary sage, some green components. Just talking about an Ethiopian coffee absolute note here. I don't get a coffee vibe here at all. Vetiver for sure. Definitely a lot of vetiver here in this fragrance, just like the original. Bourbon vanilla absolute, sandalwood, cedar, and patchouli. All the notes that are said to be here, except for the mint and the coffee, I do feel. And they also have the narcissus again as a floral note in the heart. So if you compare them side by side, I think it's going to be, and I could do that here on the channel if I do a full review on this one, but just thinking back on the one that I talked about last year, the differences are quite negligible. They're very much in line with each other. It's not like this is completely different from that fragrance. This is a really nice flanker because it still, has a lot of the stuff that you found with the 2023 release. You just have to wear them side by side to see which one you like better. I think from a first impression here, I'm liking this one a little more. I think this is a little bit more bodied, a little thicker. And I do love the combination of the iris, the vetiver notes, and that vanilla absolute with the patchouli and cedar in the base. And the sandalwood, of course, which makes this a little creamier as well. This is really nice. I think it's a little step up from the one from last year, so I'm gonna give this one a really good release. Not great, but really good. Definitely worth checking out. And if you guys want to check out any of these fragrances that I'm going over with you, you guys can check it out at perfume.com. There's actually a special sale for you right now for this haul, which is just called April Haul, which will give you guys 40% off BOGO. Buy one, get one, 40% off site-wide. It goes on for a couple of days, so don't snooze so you don't lose this really good sale. If you want to try any of these fragrances, get yourself a decant, which, you know, it's a great way to try fragrances before you buy them. Wear them on skin, live with them, make sure you love it before you commit to a full expensive bottle. So check out, details below, BOGO 40 just for you. Carrying on here with the reviews, or first impressions rather, let's talk about the newest from Burberry. This is Burberry London Parfum. I know the Hero line has had so many releases over the last few years, but this one here from the note breakdown is very, very intriguing to me. I'm very curious because it seems like this is going to be the more mature, the more sophisticated of the bunch. So the bottle here, the box here rather, is brown with the white label here. It says Burberry Hero in Gold. It's 100 ml, 3.3 ounce, and here's the bottle, very similar to the other ones. Black cap, brownish bronze kind of a bottle with the gold appointments, Burberry Hero Parfum Edition. Let's take it for a test drive. I am very curious about this one. This one is a 2024 release. And of course, with this line, you have the Eau de Toilette, you have the Eau de Parfum, now you have the Parfum, and I'm sure the next one will be the Elixir. So let's take it for a test drive. Sprays are really nice here. And I do like the opening. The cap is magnetic, by the way. I do like the opening, ladies and gentlemen. This one here has what I'm really enjoying with new releases these days. When they take modern, sweet, you know, whatever is trendy right now, which we all know it's vanilla, tonka, ambroxan, those kind of notes, but they bring forth some of those old school vibes that I like. Your chypres, your fougères, your barbershops, you know, with that green, clary sage, lavender type of a deal, oak moss, vetiver heavy. This one here is exactly that. It's a perfect combination of modern meets classic. You have the sweetness, the creaminess, the sophisticated feel here, along with that timeless, old school vibe combined. I'm really liking this one. From a first impression, this is going to be a great one for me. There's nothing here that I don't like, especially on the first impression. Whether it's going to change on me on skin, it's a whole different ball game, but on a first impression, I'm really digging this one. Looking at the notes, it talks about 3 notes only: Amyris, cedarwood, and cypriol, which most brands are doing that these days. They're only trying to simplify things for you, but there's a lot more going on here, I assure you. There's definitely a nice fruitiness up top. You do get the oak moss, vetiver, lavender, clary sage situation here. This is a really good one. I go as far as saying that in the designer releases of the year, this is one of my favorites. I'm really digging this one. I might even wear this as my scent of the day today. Like I said, perfect combination of modern meets classic. This one actually just came into the mail today, and I couldn't wait to unbox it and do a first impression for you guys. Prada Ocean Luna Rosa Lip Parfum. That's a mouthful. I'm hearing through the grapevines though that this one here is going to be a great fragrance. A lot of people are saying that this perhaps the best release of the year so far in the designer side of things. So I'm quite curious to try this one here on screen with you guys. The box looks really cool. It's a gradient that goes from dark blue to light blue to red. Looking at the bottle itself, it's going to be very similar to all of your Prada, Luna Rosa collection. The same kind of situation here. Darker, almost black, dark blue, marine blue goes into a lighter blue and a red. You can see the juice. You have this protector of the sprayer here, this plastic ring type of a thing, or cap. And then the cap itself is the sprayer. So let's take it for a test drive. Really nice, powerful mist. Okay. This to me is a very nice woody aromatic leather type scent. I'm getting right up top here a leathery kind of a feel. So looking at the notes, we've got lemon, saffron, oak, and amber extreme. So what screams to me here is the leather note. I do get the saffron note with the oak. I think the combination of both are giving me a really nice dark leather feel to this fragrance, which I love. This is another really good release here on this haul. I'm actually very impressed with some of these releases here in today's haul. I'm liking that I'm not getting more of the same. A lot of the fragrances these days are just that ambroxan, tonka, and vanilla combination, you know, variations thereof. This one here, not at all. This is its own thing. Really enjoying this one. In fact, they could have released this into like a totally different fragrance as its own new release from Prada, because it is that different from the other Prada Luna Rosas and other Prada fragrances that are in the market today. This is a really good one, guys. Definitely get your nose on this. And last but not least, from the designer side of things, we have the newest from Armani, and Armani's going crazy this year. They're doing pretty much an overhaul on their fragrance bottles. They're kind of changing all the bottles so they become refillable bottles. So they're changing the look of the bottles. But we all know when companies change the box and the bottle, chances are, I'd say 90% of the time, they do reformulate the fragrances. I don't know if that's the case here with the newest 2024 Acqua di Gio Eau de Toilette, but there is differences here on the box. The box is now more of a glossy, not so much of like a, if you have an old version of an Acqua di Gio box, you know that the texture of the box was a lot more rougher, if you will. This one here is a lot glossier. There is a almost greenish teal or mossy kind of light moss kind of a finish on the inside, which wasn't the case with the original. And looking at the bottle here, they did change it from the frosted feel to a glossy and creamy kind of texture in the base. I have an older bottle here from Acqua di Gio, which, as you guys know, it's one of my favorite fragrances of all time. Looking at them side by side, you could see the differences here. The older version is definitely frostier, and from beginning to, you know, from the top to bottom, the whole thing was frosted. This one here is going to have the Eau de Toilette here. This one doesn't say Eau de Toilette. You're going to have the insignia of Acqua di Gio on top of the new one, which you didn't have with the older one. So definitely some differences here. Now, on the smell itself, this is not a comparison video. This is just a first impression on the newest 2024 Eau de Toilette. The cap is not magnetic, by the way. So here are the sprayers. Amazing. Armani has one of the best sprayers in the game. And wow, there is a difference. Whoa, okay, so tremendous difference. Okay, this one here, the newest 2024 edition of Acqua di Gio, is going to be a lot more citrusy in the opening than the original, or the ones that were done before this one. So Acqua di Gio before gave me this fruity floral opening that became a little bit woody, a little bit aromatic, but definitely fruity and floral. This one here really tones down the floral undertones and gives me a lot more citrus notes up top. Heavy citrus, and we're talking lemons, bergamots, all of the tangerines, you know, all of the heavier citrus notes you can think of in fragrances, definitely present here up top. Very invigorating, bright, perfection for spring and summer. I like what they did here, but it's definitely different if you compare it side by side, which, you know what? Let's do it. I'm gonna do it right now. This is the original Acqua di Gio, the ones that you had available before this one. Yeah, definitely different, guys. This, you know, the older version, definitely more of a floral, fruity inflection there. Definitely woodier. I think you had more of like a vetiver and cedar situation here with the original. This one here, the new one, not so much. This one here sticks with the citrus notes. I don't know on skin, of course, but on a first impression, definitely different than the older version. So it's up to you to try it and see if you like it. You know, in comparison to the original, you know, the older version of this one, the OG, I favor the OG, but this one here, not bad. I'm gonna give this one a good, not a pass, but a good. You have to try it on skin to see if you like it. I don't love it, I think it's good. I would have liked for them to have kept the original formula of Acqua di Gio. This one here, definitely going to be different, if you can, especially if you compare them side by side. You will definitely feel the differences, but a good release nevertheless. All right, we just wrapped up the designers. Before I get into the niche, I've got 5 niche fragrances to talk to you guys about today in this video, but before I do that, I want to give you guys a couple reminders. Number one, there's going to be, speaking of niche, there's going to be a niche store dropping in Nashville. Nashville really needed a store in the niche fragrance category, and it is happening on May 3rd. There is a grand opening for that store. You can RSVP. There's a link and details below, so you can RSVP for that store grand opening. We'd love to see you there. I'm going to be there, of course. But besides that, there's also an event happening on that weekend. On Saturday the 4th, Fumes and Tunes combining music and fragrance. Guys, we've got 20 plus niche brands that we're going to be, experiencing, checking them out, enjoying their fragrances. There's a ton of surprises for you, tons of giveaways. As you walk in, you're going to get a welcome package which will contain samples from the brands. There is workshops, master classes, all details below. Check out the event. Again, the link's going to be below, giving you the program, the schedule, everything that's happening, all the brands, everything and anything you need to know. But what you need to do, though, is register, because it is limited, and as soon as it fills up, then it's going to be gone and you won't be able to get in. So if you do want to come in, if you're in the adjacent areas, and I believe that Refinery is running a special right now, depending on how much you spend, you get a free ticket. Not only do you get to come to the RSVP experience with the grand opening of the store, but you also get a free ticket to the actual ScentXplore Spring Fumes and Tunes. So check out details below. I truly hope to see you guys there. It's going to be a very inspiring experience, I promise you. Now let's get into the 5 niche fragrances here, starting with the first one from Montal. I haven't really shared a Montal fragrance here with you guys in quite a while. This is called Fantastic Basilic. But as you know, with all the Montal fragrances, you've seen one, you've seen them all. It's the cardboard box with the little pouch and the actual aluminum bottles. I do like it. I think it's very innovative. I loved what they did. You have the stopper here. The sprayers are always really good with these fragrances. So let's see what this one, Fantastic Basilic, is all about. I don't know anything about this one, so let's go. Sprays are good. Okay, this is a good one. Very aromatic. I'm getting like a sweet, fruity note, like a pear kind of situation here. Definitely some vetiver, earthy undertones. This is really good. Sweet, but not overly sweet, but definitely a fruitiness from like pear or some kind of a fruit. Love the peppery, kind of a earthy feel that I'm getting. Almost herbal as well. Maybe there's basil here, hence the name Basilic, I don't know. But this is sweet, herbal, green, and spicy. And by the way, even though this is a new fragrance to me here on the channel, this was actually a release of 2022, so I wasn't able to get this before. So, with these first impression hauls, most of them are brand new releases, but I like to sprinkle some stuff here that is kind of newish, but I haven't had a chance to try, and maybe it's going to be a hidden gem. So this one here, looking at the notes, yes, we've got Indian black pepper, basil blossom, kumquat fruit, pear, basil, tuberose, frangipani, musk, benzoin, vetiver, and tonka. This is a very nice release, guys. This has been a really great haul, man. So far, I have yet to smell something here that I say, wow, this is just a complete mess and this is a complete pass. I'd say maybe the Legend Blue was, a pass, but everything else has been actually quite good. Let's check out the one from BDK. This is called Vanilla Leather, and I think this was from last year or earlier this year. Don't quote me on that. I'll look at the year in a few minutes. Looking at the notes here, looks promising. The notes are listed on the box. BDK is one of those very classy niche fragrances of now. I think over the last 3-4 years, they have really made an impact. A lot of people are really liking their fragrances. I do enjoy BDK. I think it leans a little bit more feminine for my taste, most of their creations, but nevertheless, they are very classy, very chic, very sophisticated compositions and bottles themselves. I think from the bottle to the scents themselves, I think they are exquisite fragrances. So, beautiful sprayer. And I talked about this fragrance brand a few times here on the channel over the years. Okay. Really nice. A floral vanilla with a spicy and resinous kind of undertone. Quite nice, definitely unisex, androgynous, but I do think the floral aspect of this fragrance will make it lean. So this is going to be more of a floral, sweet, ambery type leather, which it's going to lean a little bit more feminine for my taste. I would wear this, but to be quite honest with you, for my viewers, for people that do share similar tastes to mine, which you guys know I favorite the more, rugged leathers, this is going to be a little bit more feminine, to be honest with you. And Vanilla Leather was a 2023 release, so this dropped last year. They have a couple new ones. I'm kind of a little bit late for the party here with this one, but looking at the notes, we've got violet, pink pepper, tuberose, jasmine, and orange blossom, so definitely a lot of floral components here. Bourbon vanilla, benzoin, iris, leather, oak wood, and Indonesian patchouli. This is a great scent, guys. It's a very well-constructed fragrance. It's going to lean definitely more feminine. So you must like floral fragrances. The vanilla is definitely here. The leathery undertones are definitely here. It is a great scent. There's a ton of great notes that I appreciate, but the floral notes are going to be up front and center, and I do believe it's going to last from beginning to end. So if you don't like florals, this is not going to be a leather that you would gravitate towards. I know this is going to be a good release for me, but it's probably something that my wife will pick up and keep because it's not something that I'm going to be looking forward to wearing myself. Next up, we have one from 𝗕𝐴ROF, and it's been a minute since I talked about his fragrances too on the channel. I do love his stuff. You know, the Signature Homme is one that I talked about years ago, I believe in 2018 or 17. I did a full review on that fragrance. Got a stellar mark for me. I love that fragrance. Not only Signature Homme, but you know, over the years, I've highlighted tons of fragrances from the house of 𝗕𝗴ROF. It's a brand that I do appreciate. So this one here, I'm definitely curious. From the box to the bottle, it looks absolutely incredible. Love this metal plate here on the bottle. Looks just stunning. Beautiful presentation. And of course, it looks like it's going to be a honey predominant type scent. So let's go. I do love the note of honey, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. So I am very curious and very optimistic on this one. Wow, the opening here is so photorealistic. It's so natural honey smelling. As soon as you spray this on, if your eyes are closed and somebody gave you this to smell, they're gonna think you dipped this into like a honey jar. It's that, you know, realistic to the honey feel. Loving it. Now that the scent's starting to develop a little bit here on the blotter, you're getting some almond kind of nuances, maybe heliotrope, maybe, you know, some kind of almond situation here, nutty feel, definitely spices. So looking at definitely honey though. The honey is going to be the star player here, and it's going to be present. This is a stunning juice, guys. If you love the note of honey, this is a must-have. Forget about try. You're going to love it. Trust me. We've got honeycomb. We've got cinnamon and cloves. So spicy honey up top. That's what's going to greet you hello, and I think that honey vibe will stay here. It's making me crave honey right now. That's how good this is. But there is a hazelnut, walnut, almond, and coconut milk in the heart, so that's what I'm getting that nuttiness from. In the base, vanilla, amber, tonka beans, and pralines. So there is a sweet facet here, but it's not overly sweet, which I like. Very photorealistic and natural smelling to the honey feel, and definitely tons of spices. So this is a great release. Another great one here today, guys. Signature Homme from 𝗕𝗴ROF is a tremendous fragrance, and this is one that you could wear as a signature scent. If you want to get technical to seasons, I would say spring and fall are going to be perfection for this, but this is strong enough and yet elegant enough that you can actually rock this all year long. You can make this a signature scent and be one of those standout persons, you know, that are smelling just incredible. As you walk into a room, you're going to command the room. You're going to, you know, command attention because you're going to be smelling fantastic. I'm loving this one, guys. This is definitely a great one. One of the contenders for me to spray on myself by the end of the video. So let's see. Next up, we have one from Initio, and this is going to be their Narcotic Delight. And I believe this dropped, I want to say, a month ago. And again, this is my first time trying this fragrance. It's going to have this purple, dark purple kind of a situation here with gold appointments. Initio Parfums Privé at the top. And the bottle itself has this rubbery kind of feel to them. If you guys ever had a Initio Parfums Privé bottle in your hands, you know what I'm talking about. Sprayers are actually pretty good. And let's see what this one's about. A tobacco-based scent. So you do have a sweetness, fruitiness up top, which I think is given by a cherry note. It reminds me of like a cherry cola type of a situation. As the fragrance develops, you're going to get more of that tobacco. The tobacco starts to come through. There is a booziness to the fragrance given by the note of cognac. So it's tobacco, cognac, cherry fruit, almost sparkly cherry Coke opening, but then it gets darker. That brightness, sparkliness of the cherry Coke that I talked about in the very beginning goes away, and now you're starting to get more of the tobacco inflections, the cognac booziness, darker, almost nutty kind of a feel to the fragrance. Looking at the notes, you have cherry, pink pepper, black pepper, so very spicy, cognac, hedione, tobacco, and vanilla. This is a very good tobacco fragrance, ladies and gentlemen. Very boozy, very nutty and spicy. There is a creaminess that's coming through right now. Maybe there's sandalwood here also in the base, but this is mostly a boozy, dark tobacco with the sweet cherry inflections. This is a really good one, guys, and not like anything else you've ever tried. And believe me, I own a lot of tobacco-based scents. This one here, quite different, quite unique. Will get kudos from me. From a first impression, I'm not going to say great, but very good. Definitely worth checking out. And last but not least, we're going to talk about Hachivat X. Now, we all know that there's a ton of fragrances out there in the market today that do like to take or borrow notes from Aventus. So it's no secret that the original Hachivat from Nishané, released in 2017, took the original Aventus profile and made it more powerful, because at that point Aventus was starting to have some batch variation problems, you know, a little smokier, a little sweeter, and people are getting annoyed. So I think 𝗕𝗕𝐺 took that profile and said, you know what, let me make something special that people will enjoy, and it's not going to have any issues with performance or batch variations. So that's what they did with the original 𝗕𝐺𝐸 back in 2017. Pineapple, grapefruit, bergamot, woodiness, green oak moss, the whole bid. They did a great job. 𝗕𝐺𝐸 though, the new one that we're going to talk about today, looking at the bottle here, it's got this eggshell white kind of a vibe. It's got the green axe, heavy metal cap. I mean, they do a good job with their presentations. Beautiful sprayers. And basically this one, if you're familiar with the Aventus profile, you're going to love it from the beginning. It is very similar, however, this is going to be spicier. I'm going to look at the notes here real quickly. I'm getting right off the top a more resinous and spicier situation here. The nose behind this one is Julien Hasquinet, which is an amazing perfumer of now. He's one of the top upcoming perfumers on his way to become a master perfumer. And this one here is going to have the pineapple, the bergamot, pink pepper, lime, orange blossom, jasmine, vetiver, cedar, and patchouli. However, I get a very smoky vibe here. This one here, if you are a fan of Aventus, but you wanted a powerful, spicy, and smoky version of Creed Aventus, guys, this is going to scratch you right where you itch. And the thing is, as the fragrance develops here, it's not exactly like Aventus. It's kind of like going into like a different, spicier and smokier, a heavier direction, even darker, if you will. This perhaps is what Aventus Absolute should have been or could have been, but it was not. So definitely worth checking out. So guys, this is going to be really good for me. I'm not going to give it a great release, but actually quite good as well. This was perhaps the best haul of the year so far. I really enjoyed everything here, with exception of the Legend Blue, which I thought was just more of the same. Everything else here had something, and maybe the new ACQUA di Gio 2024 release, I didn't really love what they did here by changing the actual structure. You know, the fragrance is a little bit different, but everything else here, guys, amazing. I'm gonna go with something that's gonna give me like a subtle elegance and sophistication, which is a tea-based note that I talked to you guys about in this video, which is Bulgari Pour Homme Eau de Parfum 2024 release. I love this one. I think it's gonna be great for today. Today's a beautiful spring day. You can go heavy in this stuff. It's not gonna be overbearing, and it's very similar to Oolong Cha from 𝗕𝗕𝐺 that I just talked about. If you guys did enjoy this haul video with the 15 fragrances I shared with you, please, all I ask is leave a like, share this video so other people can, take advantage of these first impressions, take advantage of the codes. Of course, everything will be listed in the comments, the codes, so you can try fragrances before you buy it at perfume.com. Every fragrance will be listed with the best possible prices, of course, from a fragrance lover to another. And as always, guys, wear what truly moves you, and I will see you right back here with another video very soon. Take care.